Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for the 29th of January. And just on the 4-hour chart here in the sort of bigger picture, we'd been looking for wave 3, 4 and going up for wave 5. I thought that we would have another little move down here before we're pushing to the upside to make a new low below here. It doesn't seem to be the case, so I need to go in and talk about this area here today. I'm not trading it, as I've mentioned before. I'm just buying it. So I've just picked up just another 5k in here for this, and yeah, so we still may get another leg down here, and that's what I want to talk about today. But we're certainly in a correction. It's definitely a correction, and we're looking for higher ground. So when we go into the hourly chart and the 15-minute chart, they will be labeled a bit differently, but yeah, so over here we've got a wave 3 here, and I want to go over my mistake, and we were looking at an A wave, a B wave, and then down for a C wave. And a C wave can be, well, it should be in 5 waves unless it's in a triangle. So we would look as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going down for wave 5. So I was looking for 5 waves down here. I only got 1, 2 and 3 here and didn't make a new low below here. So we're left with this as a corrective pattern. So how can this play out now? Well, first of all, as I mentioned the other day, that this wave 4 had the first alarm bell waving flag because it overlapped wave 1 here. So that's a bit of a no-no. And so what we could do here is we could put wave 4 over here and then look at this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave coming back up into the old high here as a wave 4, and then having a wave 5 down here. So a more complicated wave 4. That's quite possible. It may not be the case, but I'm just pointing it out, and that means that we'd need to count 5 waves up here, but that will take us up closer to the old high and to the 35,000. But it probably not the case, because this has moved up so high here for this. So we may need to, we've either got this going on here, or we need to look at wave 4 already being in play and having that sitting over here with this, and then we can remove these here and look at this ending in 3 waves here. So we'll have to look at it as a WXY ending for this wave 4 here, and then we would also need to look at well, we'd have to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here in that case. Now it doesn't count very nicely here, and there's a bit of an overlap. We could count this in 2 different ways here, because it counts better up here as 3 waves. But if we counted it up as 1 and 2 and 3 here, then this would be 4 and this would be 5. So it's a pretty ugly looking wave structure for an impulse wave, and also 2 wave 4 overlaps wave 1 here for this. So we could label it like that. So I don't see any other way to label that really, if we were looking for a more bullish count in that regard. I'm thinking, could I mean, because it hasn't made a new low below here, I could have looked at this as a triangle pattern to this point just here and then look at this move down, but it still hasn't made a low here. So in the bigger picture here, what I could say is that if we found support on 35,000, then we know that at that point that would be heading up to 50 at that point. This movement across here, at least from this low here to this high here, this would be the accumulation process across here. So if you're looking at Richard Wyckoff's work, he would say, well, that's an accumulation process, and you could pretty much stand this length here on its head coming up here, squaring time and price. So that's kind of quite fitting for that point. If this is indeed part of it here, then we've got more of an extension over here. 5 is the second strongest number in the market, so it will get sucked up to that point. And to get up to there, all I could say at this point is that well, I guess this wave 4 could get more complicated, but getting support on the 35,000 would be ticking one of the boxes for further upside at that point. So getting past that 35 is the deal, because we need to look at this here. Let's just go to the 15-minute chart and look at this wave 4 scenario over here again, because it does present presents a reasonable case. So from wave 3 low here as an A wave here, and a B wave and a C wave here for the A wave, and then an A and a B and a C. This does not finish in 5 waves here. So that's the point here. So if that's the case of being a B wave here, then we need to look for 5 waves to the upside here. So we will see a bit of a dance and pull back into the 33 here before seeing a move to the upside there. But then we need to count this as 5 waves up into this point or to this old high here. And if that is the case, then we'll see 5 waves coming down, making a new low to the 28,000. So you just need to be a bit mindful of that. So people that are actually trading, we could expect coming up to 35 to see some type of reaction here that could drop us down to 34. That would only be logical, and then a move to the upside here, and we're looking for a classic trading levels pattern at that point there. So once that plays out at that point, then we can look. Then you could have another trade set up if you're not long already at this point. And then that would take us up higher at that stage. So, yeah, all I can say is that I've made a mistake. I'm still a little bit confused about what would be the right count. I can say that getting support on 35 would flick us to the upside, and that would be a nice trade setup at that point. Even so, even if we do get 5 waves up into, even this high here, we would certainly see a pullback at that point. So yeah, using this setup here of the classic trading levels pattern would be the way to move forward on that, and this is what it looks like here. So across 35 here, you'll see the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC pattern. So we can go long above here, and also here as well. There is a variation on this where it doesn't drop below the level here, and we just need to be a bit mindful of that. But that first high above the level, that's your reference point. So that's where you'd go long at. If you can get a better one down the second high, that's good. If it drops below, then you can get back or come back up over here and sit on here, and then we go long from that point. So they're basically the 2 patterns. Well, there is a third pattern, and I should point it out too, is where it doesn't stop at the level and it just continues to go straight up. If that's the case, then it will fold back like this and then move up in that case. So it normally runs out of steam and gets pulled back. And I just call this the overshoot pattern because it doesn't stop here. So if it does stop here and reacts from here, then you know that you've got this pattern or this one here, the variation on that. So that reaction tells you what's going to come next at that point. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.